I'm going to show you how to do a cable cast on. Typically I do a long tail cast on, but when I have to cast on a lot of stitches, and I'm doing a Koigu linen stitch scarf and I need to cast 450 stitches on, I don't want to estimate how much I need for my tail, long tail, and then find I'm 20 stitches short at the end. That's just really disappointing. So the benefit with a cable cast on is you don't need a long tail. You just make your slip knot as usual and get started, and draw yarn from your ball of yarn. So the first step is to go into this slip knot as if to knit, draw that stitch out, and then put your left needle underneath the front of that stitch and draw it back onto the left needle. Now, I'm going to keep this fairly loose for a couple of reasons. It's nice to have a loose cast on, especially when I'm doing a long scarf. This cast on is going to run along the length of the scarf, and I want to be able to block it and stretch it out. The cable cast on has a nice pretty edge, but it does have some elasticity too, so it's great. Next step, I'm going to go in between, like right through these two stitches, the first and the second stitch. So I'm going from front to back. I'm not going into that front stitch. I'm going between the first and the second stitch, as if to knit. Bring up a fairly long loop. Take your left needle and go under that front of that leg of stitch, and then just drop it back on. You see it's kind of loose. In between the first and second stitch, draw the yarn around as if to knit, loop it around, and slide it back on. In between the first and second stitch, wrap around as if to knit, loop around, and back on. If you find you're getting resistance pushing your right needle through, that's a good indicator that your stitches are too tight. So loosen it up. Get your shoulders down from your ears and loosen it up. Okay, nice long stitch, and then back onto the needle. See how loose that is? That's kind of what you want. There you go. It's the weekend here at the lake, so you might be hearing kids playing, or even fishermen on the lake, because the sound really travels. But it's nice to work outside. Okay, I'll just do a few more stitches. Getting in through between the first and second stitch, wrap around. The other thing too is don't work at the top of your needle, which is actually narrower. That's a surefire way of getting tight stitches. Stay down on the thick part of your needle. Okay, so let's look at what we have. Look at that edge. I love that. It's so neat, and the little stitches here are all laying against each other. And that's a right side row facing you. When you do a long tail cast on, you actually have a purl row facing you, if you get that detailed about your knitting, and I do. So you see how nice and neat this is? Plus, this is cotton. This is dish cotton. Dish cotton has no elasticity at all. But look, I can open that up fairly nicely. So a beautiful edge, a little bit of elasticity as long as you keep it loose. If I turn over the back, I'll show you those little purl stitches. So when you finish this, you're ready to start the knit row, or the of whatever you're making. And if your pattern that you're working on says to start with a right side row, you're good to go. The cable cast on. Thanks for watching.